live in San Diego. Rideshare Pro throws down $20 just as I'm about to start. Much love to you, Thomas Gibson, my friend. Sorry to hear about the Lyft deactivation. They're going to lose one of their best drivers, right? He's a private driver, one of the best in the game that I know. Thank you for throwing down 20, Thomas. And that is Lyft's loss, Uber's gain, right? He's never been threatened by Uber, but Lyft decides to deactivate him. Trash. I don't know why. I don't know why Lyft had to do that. That's a trashy move, Lyft. So Thomas knows the game that we're in. And right now we're at the Morgan Wallen. There it is, the Morgan Wallen concert at the Sofi Stadium. Scott Robertson in the house. Welcome you all. I'm going to give you all a shout out. We've got 46 people. Like Dustin says, smash that like button. Smash it hard, right? Ronald's in the house. Got deactivated. Essays in the house. Sajad from Maryland. This is going to be a pretty long live feed, I think. Because guess what? I pick the clients up at 4 p.m. The concert's going to go till 11 p.m. We'll be back at their house at 12 p.m. That's 8 hours. How do I bill those 8 hours? 8 times $50, 400, plus the trip there, 150, plus the trip back, 150. So 400 plus 300, I bill them $700. And usually this client, who is a billionaire, will leave me, and I'm driving his kids, will leave me about $100 tip. So Thomas knows the game. This is a $700-800 night, right? And although I'm not in the concert, I can show you where I am here. Kenneth's in the house. There are a couple. I'm in the top here, top section of. Oh, let me. Why don't I just show you? Why don't I just show you? So this is the Sofi area. The valet drops all the. See, that's the entrance to the VIP. The VIPs pull in here. They drop off. Pretty cool. And all those people are dressed in like country gear. It's all country gear. Right? So yeah, great night. Beautiful evening. Super hot. Super hot temperature-wise. And I'm just going to chill for a few hours. I'm going to hang out with you wonderful people, right? So let me just plug in here quickly. 56 people in the house on a Saturday night. What are you up to? Now, the title of my video, ladies and gentlemen, pretty simple. It is Rideshare Driver versus private driver versus combo driver. What is a combo driver? A combo driver is someone that does rideshare and, so I'm trying to position my camera here, apologize. Trying to find a nice little spot. There we go. Yeah, it's good money. I mean, this guy obviously doesn't do combo driving. Who's this here? This is a exclusive ride. That's a cool vehicle. And the number plate is called XX Ride. So that guy doesn't do combo. That guy does just exclusively, he doesn't do rideshare and limo driving. He's just doing sort of like a large shuttle. That's a Mercedes Sprinter. They usually work for a company, get paid per hour. Ransom's in the house. Manny's in the house. Smash the like button as you come in. Before I start this video talking about rideshare drivers versus private drivers versus combo drivers, and I'm going to go into a lot of length on each. The thumbnail that you saw in the video had an illuminous sign, an Uber and a Lyft sign. You've seen those. Anybody know about those luminous Uber and Lyft signs? And you see them on at night, right? They shine bright blue for Uber, or they shine bright neon pink. They're all lit up. They're LED lights. Does anybody know them? Now, I have hundreds. I have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes full of them. And if I go to events, I usually give them away, right? And people are grateful for them. Now, the manufacturer of that Lyft and Uber neon sign, listen to this. His name is Hutton, Mr. Hutton, and he has his store in Torrance. Uber, Lyft, and Amazon hit him with a massive lawsuit. Not only that, they literally sent like a SWAT team over there, raided his place, right? Confiscated all the signs. They said they were, I'm doing great, Brian Baylor in the house. They confiscated all of his signs. They call it they said it was counterfeit, right? Now this dude has been selling, I know the guy. He's been selling those neon signs since 2019. And the police SWAT team that hit his house even said, why are we going after this little guy? And the basic answer is because the higher ups at Uber and Amazon, I mean, Jeff Bezos can make 1 or 2 phone calls, right? And these guys show up and raid your home, which A, I don't think is cool. B, I mean, what is the guy doing wrong? So the argument of Uber and Lyft was that he's selling these counterfeit signs and that they're dangerous. They're dangerous because they could get into the wrong people's hands, these neon signs. I still have hundreds of them. In fact, at one of the events where Mike the driver, Kevin, Dave the Uber slave, I gave everyone those lights. They loved them, right? So a little bit of background there. I just found it sad that 3 big companies, Uber, Lyft, and Amazon, would gang up together against a little retailer on Amazon and literally destroy his life. In fact, all the monies that were in the Amazon account, which was $7,000, they kept that, right? That's just typical Uber, Lyft, and Amazon. Just took his money, right? And went out and destroyed his life. But that's how they roll. That's not how we roll. We got to go out there and hustle and make our money, which leads me to the topic. Now, rideshare driving, sadly, and I'm basing this on many text messages, comments, and that I read in YouTube. A lot of people are exiting the game of Uber and Lyft rideshare, which is sad, right? Because once upon a time, you could actually make really good money on the Uber and Lyft platform several years ago. And the 2 main reasons why people are leaving, and A, I ask them, B, I read about this, is they just can't make it work money-wise, pay-wise, right? And Uber being flush with money, they have a lot of money at the moment. The stock went up to $47. And they can throw so much money at marketing and recruiting. They don't really care if they lose a driver, because through the aggressive marketing tactics or techniques that they use, they have 3 or 4 drivers in the pipeline. And what these newbies don't know most of the time is that the first 2 months, Uber and Lyft are going to make you feel great. They're going to pay you well, and you're going to think, wow, this rideshare business is amazing. And I'm talking about newbies. Make it very attractive and try to hook you in to the algorithm, hook you into the psychology of their game, right? But then a few months down the line, even the newbies start figuring out, hang on, how much money am I making here? Right, and that's really, I would say, the number one reason a lot of drivers are quitting and leaving, because the money is at an all-time low. You just cannot make money on little $2 rides, $3 rides, $2 deliveries, $3 deliveries. There's no money to be made, right? In fact, you're losing money. The other main reason a lot of drivers are leaving is they don't feel safe, right? They don't feel safe. And I think, that's sad, because I remember in the good times, I'd be out there 10, 12 hours a day. I started my fleet, and I wanted to learn all the ins and outs of the business, and I was making good money. So I was making good money, leasing out my first SUVs, and I had Priuses and I had Nissan Leafs, and that was good money. And it was just a very, very basic formula, which I also teach at gigrocket.com. But I tried out X for 2-3 months, knowing that I wanted to get to XL for a while, another 2-3 months. And then I wanted to try out SUV Black for a few months, right? So I wanted to really gain all the knowledge in 1 year. And I ended up actually driving for Uber Black and SUV for many years, right? Today, do I still do rideshare? Only if they are very, very good scheduled trips, right? Only if they are very, very good scheduled trips will I jump onto Uber. Lyft, I don't even touch. And FYI, I am also obviously in lawsuits with both the company. I sued both companies. And during those years when I built out my fleet, right, and I'm sharing the story with you because it's really based, my story is based on trying out all the angles. So there's some people call it like business verticals. Where can I make money in rideshare? How can I evolve in rideshare? What is the next thing after rideshare? Are there combination of another business and rideshare? And we'll get into that, combo driver. Yes, there is. But in the rideshare game, there was a lot of money to be made, consistently hitting that 3K club back in the day. And I remember Giovanni from Chicago, you remember in Rideshare Revolution, he was the A master in his game in Chicago. He sort of started the 3K club, and I always made it a goal to hit that 3K. You show me anyone today, there are a few exceptions, very good master cherry pickers that still make maybe 3K. But the majority of the drivers are not making 3K. And unless you're literally driving around the clock on Uber and Lyft, right? Maybe you could still make the 3K. It's hard even to make the 2K club, right? But what I learned in the game, the good old days, David, yes. Gio is good. Gio and I banged heads many a times, right? But I got to say one thing about him, he was good at what he did, right? He was major ego guy, making pretty loose comments, firing off a lot of missiles. I don't take anyone's shit. He knew that. And I ended that very, very quickly. But I still, to this very day, have a lot of admiration for the guy because he knew his game. And I have a lot of respect, right? Because what he was doing out there in Chicago, he was passing on that important knowledge to newbies and veterans. And people followed him. He had a lot of subscribers. He then went out on TaskRabbit, started a snow plowing service or something. I make good money. And I'm sure he's still making good money today because he knows a lot about business, right? So wherever he is, maybe somebody has an update, maybe he'll come onto our live feed. I wish him well, and I mean that. Now, leasing out those vehicles, back in the day, I was leasing out the Suburbans for $500. I was leasing out the Escalades for $5.50 a week. I'd buy them at auctions through my dealer auction buyer, Michael, good friend. And Michael helped a lot of drivers, hundreds of drivers, get their cars at LA auctions, Texas auctions, Florida auctions. He would buy in multiple states, and I use this guy exclusively, still use him today, right? And today, you will not be able to go out there and find an operator under $650, right? If you're trying to get a used Suburban, you'll probably pay $700, almost $800 for a Cadillac, which is almost $300 more than I was charging at the time. In the field of the Prius, the Toyota Prius, I had a lot of them. It was just too much work. You were getting half of what you were getting for an SUV, and you had double the amount of headaches. So what I started doing is just building out a fleet of SUVs, which is still extremely profitable to this very day, right? But in that process of rideshare, I got to meet the people and talk to the people that were actually leasing my cars. Now, in California, you go out there, you would get a TCP, a transport charter permit. It costs you about $1,200 for the application per car. It would run you at least, $9,000 to $12,000 a year on insurance, right, for that vehicle, which is a lot. And those drivers that were leasing the cars from me, they were combo drivers, right? They drove rideshare, Uber, Lyft, and they started building out their private clientele, right? So when the guys used to come in the office on a Tuesday to pick up their paycheck, the guys, I drove this guy this week. I drove this guy this week. I drove this actress this week. We're in LA, right? Hollywood. And I thought, wow, I got to check this out. So I got to admit, I got rather hooked. It was like crack, right? I don't take crack, but I got rather hooked on black SUV because Christian Bale in the car, Channing Tatum. And I'm like, wow. And the guy's like, hey, do you have a business card? Your car, I had my car, eucalyptus in the car. I mean, clean, they loved it, right? Yeah. So I said, absolutely. And so what I started doing is I started building out my private clientele. Thanks to Uber SUV, right? And thanks to Lyft Lux. I slowly started recruiting Uber and Lyft riders into my own company, into my LLC. So you've been driving for 9 years now, just drive the weekend XL and Lux only, and only if they are good. Monday to Friday, drive my 18-wheeler. I love that. You're a trucker. Awesome. Hard workers. 1800 Good Life's in the house. He says, hi. Michael Morabito says, I haven't done rideshare in about 2 years because I'm afraid for my life. Yeah, you're right. I mean, safety, I don't know what city you're in, Michael, but safety without safety, I mean, what's money without safety? Carlita's in the house. Gio said Gio was good. Yes, he was. David Petrucci says good old days. Morgan Wallow concert tonight. That's where I'm at, right? At the Morgan Wallow concert. Here it is in the VIP section. There, Morgan Wallow. And tonight's a $700 night for me. One booking. But we'll get to that. We'll get to the money of private driving. We'll get there. So, learning the ins and outs in rideshare, doesn't matter if you're XXL, SUV. SUV clients are very different to UberX clients. SUV clients or black clients pay far more for the ride. Usually get a Suburban or a big car or a Cadillac or maybe a Mercedes 550 or something along those lines, right? Versus the cheapest rates regular car on UberX. Now, when you learn how to recruit an Uber or a Lyft rider, and then the people say, oh, that's illegal, you can't do that. If you're not able to think outside of the box here, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not able to think outside of rideshare, right? If you have your vision so blocked and so narrow-minded and like, oh my God, they'll fire me if I do that, then you're stuck in fear, F-E-A-R, right? And you really are not going to break out of that mold or become successful if you are not willing to take that much risk, right? And it's not like you're just recruiting anyone that's in your SUV. You're very selective, you're very careful. It's a soft sale, right? And at some point out come the business cards. If you drive someone to the airport, for example, you're driving someone to the airport and you can see it's a family and you can see it's a wealthy family or a wealthy businessman, right? And they enjoy your company and they enjoy talking to you. And it's a mutual beneficial flow of positive energy back and forth, right? Those are usually the people I would give a business card saying, hey, you know what? Really enjoyed talking to you. Have a fantastic holiday or have a good meeting or have a safe flight. Here's my business card. If you ever get stuck somewhere and you cannot get an Uber and a Lyft, hit me up, right? And very quickly, and Thomas Gibson, who was here right in the beginning of this video, you'll know, because I wouldn't say I trained up Thomas. Thomas and I pretty much started at the same time, but we're always comparing notes over all the years, right? And is the best in his game in San Diego. And the formula is not difficult if you are willing to think and operate a little bit outside of the box. Now, if you are generally a person, no judgment here, but if you generally a person that is fearful or too structured or too careful, what I'm about to tell you would probably not make sense. You probably wouldn't put it into action. But anybody that's hungry for money like I am, right? Man, I can smell, ladies and gentlemen, I can smell money. I can smell money, right? And I've learned that since a teenager. I know when there's money to be made. And if there's not money to be made, I don't waste my time, right? And that's why I would say where I am today, very financially stable, very successful in my own right? Have a couple of companies, have a fantastic limo service, security company, and great clients, right? Like the one that I'm driving right now is the part owner of Keys of Venice, right? And if you are willing to communicate, if you're nice to people, if you treat people the way you want to be treated, Brismap's in the house, right? Things open up, doors open up, right? I teach my kids that. Vitamin C, vitamin connections is crucial. It's not everything about what you learn at school. It's not always about your degree. But the people that you start aligning yourself with, right? You get rid of the negatives, rid of the riffraff, and you surround yourself with people that lift you up, that better your life, that add value to your life, right? Things start happening very, very, very quickly if you're not afraid to communicate, if you're not afraid to ask questions. And those are some of the qualities you will need as a private driver. Now, the skill set that you bring with you from the rideshare world, nobody can teach you that. That's an amazing, powerful set of tools. If you've done 1,000 trips, 2,000 trips, 10,000 trips, you've accumulated a lot of street knowledge, right? What I'm asking you is to take it one step further. You are already an established rideshare driver. You know what it takes. You know that you're willing to take a little bit of a risk and become a private driver. And then that third option I talk about, the combo driver, is doing a combination of rideshare and private trips. Meaning, if I don't have private clients lined up on a specific date, I switch over to my rideshare app. But as I am building out my clientele, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm adding more and more clients, as I'm getting more and more referrals from my private clients, I tell you what, your rideshare hours become less and less, because you are stepping now for the first time into your true worth, right? For the first time, you are experiencing what a true independent contractor is like. You are the boss of your LLC, for example, Limited Liability Corporation. You could open that with businessrocket.com. You can learn all the ins and outs about the game at Gig Rocket. I have this private chauffeur and fleet course. It's a combo course. You get to learn both, right? Not only how to build out your own fleet of cars, but how to actually become a private driver. And there's not an easier way, or the easiest way is to transition from the rideshare world into the private world. And in the very beginning, you are going to be doing a combination of rideshare and private trips. And the more private clients you accumulate, the less rideshare trips you will be doing. Why? Because on the one hand, the split has become so bad, right? And we're talking here 20 to 40%, if we're lucky right now, our cut, the rideshare cut, 20 to 40. The company making 60 to 80%. My friends, that is a first. 5-10 years ago, you were in the front seat. You were making that 75 to 80%. It switched, right? And the greed of these investors, the greed of these executives is at an all-time high. It's ridiculous. So where is the money there? Where is the money for you and I in rideshare, unless we are willing to maybe just work in the peak hours, unless we are willing to maybe go from X to XL, or maybe XL to black, or unless we're maybe willing to become cherry picking champions, you might still make some money. But the chances of making the real money in rideshare, my friends, and this is sad, and I say this with sadness, it's becoming less and less more likely to make the real money in rideshare. So the combination, if you already have the car, if you have already invested into the vehicle, and I'm not talking about this vehicle here, I'm not talking about splashing out crazy money for one of these, because this is an entirely different game. I am talking about, maybe going out and getting a Sienna or a Cadillac or a Mercedes and saying, you know what, I'm going to put $1,200 or $1,000 aside to get my state license. I'm going to put some money aside for my commercial license because I realize it costs more than the commercial insurance, because I know it costs more than the rideshare insurance, and the rideshare insurance costs more than the regular car auto insurance. It's quite expensive entering the game of the private driver, the limo driver, the driver for hire. Some people call it the chauffeur or the private chauffeur, right? But where I am today, understanding what I went through in rideshare, understanding still today how much money I make with fleets, David says peak times aren't even paying now, which is correct. It's just where's the money? We're 58 people. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, please. So if you can do a combination of rideshare and private trips and start recruiting your clients, and I go into great length and show you how not to be caught, right? How not to be caught out by Uber and Lyft, so they have no clue that you're actually taking their clients. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, you have to take care of yourself, right? They are not taking care of you, right? You have to take care of yourself. This is very important. And rideshare is becoming less and less safe. That's a fact. If you know, your chances of something eventually happening to you in cities like Chicago or Baltimore or Washington, D.C. or LA or Vegas, I mean, are pretty high. Something bad safety-wise can happen. And obviously we need our dash cams. Obviously we need our pepper spray. Obviously we need access to 911, right? But rideshare alone is a rather dangerous business. So wouldn't you rather enjoy having people in your car? No, you can't take private clients with a regular driver's license. So just to answer that, right? That's not what I'm promoting. You have your regular driver's license, right? You then go out and get your every state, whether it's Texas or California or New York, you get your licensing, right, for that state. Oh, David started talking about Dara. We're going to talk about Dara later. We don't want to have him steal our good energy right now, right? We're talking about positive things. We're talking about ways we can make money. Obviously, Dara makes a lot of money from us, right? But what I'm teaching you now, what I'm showing you now, what I'm exposing you to now are the avenues of making money for yourself, right? Not just for Dara's bank account or Uber's bank account or the investor's bank account, right? Rob Knox is in the house. He says, yeah, I think that's the main reason I never tried it. Too many barriers to entry, which is true, Rob Knox. I mean, too many barriers to entry, but you got to look at those barriers, right? You got to look at those barriers and say to yourself, what barriers or what hurdles do I have to overcome in order to become a private driver? And there are not too many hurdles, and they're not difficult to overcome. It's a question of, am I willing to upgrade my car? Am I willing to aggressively market myself, right? Because remember, you always, no matter what car you invest in, you can always fall back on the rideshare trips. They will always be there, whether it's Lyft Lux or Uber Black, right? It's not like you're going to lose money. You are gradually building out your private clientele, and nothing better than getting referrals, right? Every week I'm getting 2 to 3 referrals right now, right? Murat says Uber is hiding reservation trip requests. Is that legal? I mean, honestly, you're asking me, is Uber legal? Close call music says, hey, is it worth coming out to the coast to do Uber Black or private? Tired of the East Coast. Pittsburgh sucks. Look, Indy's in the house. Wonderful, thank you. So Pittsburgh, my friend from Pittsburgh, I always say to people, change is good, right? I've lived in multiple countries, and every time I challenge myself, okay, I'm going to move here, or I'm going to go, you become like a chameleon, right? And the more moves you make, the more exciting your life, and the more exciting your life becomes, and the more you're challenging yourself, right? Become too complacent and live in the same city all your life. I mean, how are you going to really grow as a person? Right, so set yourself that challenge. You know, I can do it. I can move from the East Coast to the West Coast. I can make it happen. Now, the East Coast is far more high-paced. So you're going to come to the West Coast, and it's rather chill here. And you're going to have certain advantages coming from the East Coast, you know, because it's a more aggressive business environment, right? Do or die type of situation. The West Coast is pretty chill, but also very, very expensive. So whether you're going from west to east, east to west, I would say, hey, you know what? Challenge yourself. change is good for you, right? And even if you fail in the first 6 months, guess what? You can always go back to Pittsburgh. So you don't want to have regrets in your life, right? I'm specifically talking to the gentleman from Pittsburgh, or it could be a lady, I don't know. You don't want to have regrets in life. 5 years down the line, you say, damn, I should have moved to the West Coast, or I should have moved to New York and try, or I should have gone down to Florida and Texas and tried it out. You would hate yourself for that, right? So go seize the bull by its horns, try it out. If you fail, you can always say, you know what, I moved back. I have my friends there. I know Pittsburgh. I can always move back. But I'm a type of person that will say, hey, you know what? Go for it. Just do it. Been like that all my life, right? And that formula has served me very, very well. There's nothing I fear. I don't fear being thrown in any environment. And I'm talking, I've been thrown into environments in third world countries, second world, first world countries. Never worried me. You can always adapt like a chameleon, right? And those are specific qualities that help me a lot in with my private trips, and they also help me a lot in rideshare, because you can see through a lot of the bullshit. You can see if someone is genuine or pulling an angle or trying to con you or try to get the upper hand, right? You learn so much from rideshare. You learn so much from your clients, listening, talking, communicating, body language. You learn so much. And that skill set is so valuable when you go into Close Call Music says, I appreciate that advice when then college kids go to the ride slow way down in Pittsburgh. My friend, come down to LA, for example. Let's get together. Let's go for lunch. I'll teach you LA, Orange County, San Diego, Ventura, Oxnard, Inland Empire in a 1 hour meeting. Where to make money. And then you can say, hey, I have this vehicle, I have UberX, or I want to get an XL, or I have an SUV. I'll show you how to make the money. If you really want to learn how to make the real money, I'm sitting in my car right now. I'm going to have dinner later on. I got myself some food. I got a drink, not alcohol, but I got some drinks, water. And I'm booked out from 4 o'clock till 12. It's a $700 night. How many hours would I have to drive around in an UberX vehicle? Let's be honest here. How many hours would I have to drive around and hustle and grind and fill up at gas stations to make $700, right? And literally, I'm driving them to the Sofi Stadium. I'm driving them back. There's not going to be much traffic at night, 12 o'clock at night, from the Sofi Stadium back to Hidden Hills where my client lives. And I'm sitting here having fun with you guys, also earning money, also sharing my knowledge, also learning from you. So for me, it's a win-win-win situation, right? So private trips, I strongly believe that's where you want to be. Sometimes people need a little bit of a push. Sometimes people need a little bit of help. My email, my number is there. I love helping people. That's in my nature, right? And come with your questions. Hey, for example, a gentleman, I'm moving from Pittsburgh, thinking of coming to the West Coast. I want to sell my Honda Civic. I want to upgrade. Okay, let's talk about all the variables, right? But if you're stuck in rideshare alone and you feel like you're just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, like a little hamster wheel, and you're not getting anywhere, and you're falling behind in your bills, and you're looking at your earnings, and the earnings are becoming less and less and less, right? Pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, look at the numbers after the pandemic and before the pandemic or during the pandemic. They're very, very different, right? Look at the safety factor, very, very different. Now, I want to feel safe. And with my private clients that I know, or the referrals from professionals to professionals, I feel safe. I really, really, really feel safe. And all the years I've been doing this, I only let 3 private clients go. Probably because of the ego. They were all 3 males. They always thought they had to put other people down. I don't need that shit. I don't care who you are, right? I even told Weinberg, Harvey Weinberg, I drove him 3 times. I told him straight to his face, he's a fucking idiot, right? Told him straight to his face. And he started spitting and frothing. You don't know who you're talking to. Oh, I'll get you. Just spitting, that big fat pig. I told him straight to his face, get out of my fucking car. I threw him out, literally threw him out at the Peninsula Hotel. And I told all of his entourage there at the hotel, I said, get this piece of shit out of my car. Because I was ready to knock this fat thing out, right? And that's true story. I don't need those people. You don't need those people. We surround ourselves with good people that lift us up, that make us laugh, that value us, that cherish us, right? A lot of this riffraff that gets into our cars in UberX, no name, no picture, treat our cars like trash, leave food in the back, leave fries in the back. We don't need that. You don't need that. I don't need that. We don't need that, right? We deserve, if we are willing to work, if we are willing to offer our A game, if we are bringing platinum service, we deserve to be paid. And we deserve to, I almost knocked his block off, right? I have a very short fuse, and I think it comes from my rugby days. Always got into brawls, bar fights, a lot of street fights. I learned the hard way. I never go out of the way if there's a fight, strangely enough. But that's just who I am. I'm sharing that with you, right? But, we deserve to be paid at the end of the day. We deserve to feel safe, right? And sadly, I read too many comments. People don't feel safe. And people feel like they're not making it Monday to Monday, right? And you deserve better. You don't have to have drivers with no name or an emoji or vomiting in your car or calling your names or slamming your car, right? This is all the shit that we have to put up with, right? Sometimes it upsets. If you've had a long day in rideshare, you can say, hey, I had a good day, or, you go to bed rather upset because 2 or 3 people that day just pissed you off, right? Sadly. But the more and more you can transition and recruit private drivers, and I go into great length. You can check it out right underneath. You will see, after the video, I'll put in the description, there's the private chauffeur course. It is literally everything that I've learned in the last 10 years, how to build out a fleet, make a lot of money with a fleet, a lot of money. Crazy return on investment, ROI, after 15 months. There's not many businesses where you start making profits after 15 months. Fleet business is one of them, right? And then the other business is the private driver business. When you're recruiting and getting more and more and more, and in my portfolio, probably have 350 private clients today as my own clients, right? And I really don't have to go back and switch on the Uber and Lyft platform because I have so many clients. Every day is booked out, Monday to Sunday. I work hard. I don't mind working 7 days a week, try to do a few trips in the morning, few trips at night. But at the end of the day, and I tell a lot of people this, where I am today after these 10 years, if I make under $500, I'm upset. I feel like I haven't reached my target. A very, very good day, there have been many a good days where I made $2,500 to $3,500 in one day. Could be one call from a client and you might have to drive from LA to San Francisco or to Vegas, and you get paid accordingly, right? Because there's a bit of an emergency, and they pay, or they can't get certain items on a plane, or they have to make a connecting flight, and they're a private client, or they need their dogs taken from, and they pay big time, right? So, a lot of cool surprises await you as a private driver, and I think the most beautiful thing about this job is the people you meet, the relationships you build, right? Babak says, do you have any recommendations? Recommendations on what? Sorry, I didn't read your. John James is in the house. Babak says, hi, I've been driving for Uber and Lyft since 2013, so 10 years. Uber has been deactivated my account 3 weeks ago, suddenly with no send email and noticed because of fraudulent document. Okay, so let me help Babak here out for a second. So something you uploaded triggered an alarm, and usually it's an insurance document, right? And you go down to the hub. I'm sure you went down to the hub. They just say, hey, you know what? You got deactivated for fraud. They don't tell you what you did fraudulently. You might think, oh, maybe I uploaded a document. What could I have done that was fraudulent, right? So you're not going to get anywhere at the hub. You're not going to get anywhere on the phone with India. Forget about it, right? There's no customer services that's going to help you. We'll have a review team or a special team look at it. Also, all BS, all crap, right? They have 10 other people that they can replace you with. But if you want to fight back, and get that account, Babak, in 3 weeks, I don't know how much money you have lost. What are you averaging per week? Let's say you were averaging 1,000 per week, and you've already lost 3,000. The way to approach this, you're right, they never said which documents. Okay, so look, we've done 2,400 cases, reactivation cases, right? They give you very, very limited information, sadly, right? But the way you have to fight back is a specifically worded appeal letter that says, hey, dear Uber and Lyft, if you do not cooperate, if you do not look at this case, Babak lost $3,000 and we'll make you pay. So I don't want to go into that right now, but if you need help with the reactivation, the link is below. The deactivated to reactivated course on GigRocket, done it 2,300 times, right? So check it out. I want to continue talking about rideshare driver versus private driver versus combo driver. Now, when I say combo driver, you are initially a combination of a rideshare driver and a private driver. You got all your papers. You went out and got your commercial vehicle. You went out and got your commercial insurance. You have your licensing from your state, and you're fully legit to become a private driver. And slowly but surely, you start recruiting your private clients. And I go into great length in that course, the private chauffeur course, into the marketing. How do I get those clients, right? We spend at least about 30 minutes talking about networking, referrals, marketing, and converting Uber and Lyft riders into your company, into your LLC. You want to get as many people across so that you can get more and more referrals, because if you show up on time, if you offer a great service, you get referral after referral after referral. You don't outprice yourself. You keep your prices real. And the main thing here is that you're making 100% of the monies. You're not splitting this with Uber and Lyft, where you're getting 30% and they're getting 70%. You're putting the full 100% of those monies into your own account. Now, of course, you have more responsibilities and costs, your commercial insurance, etc., maybe a more expensive vehicle, maybe higher monthly payments, right? But at the end of the day, after a year, after 2 years, after 3 years, it is so worth it. My days are 500 minimum, up to 2,500 a day, right? A day. So you do the math on that one. And that money also then allowed me to go out and buy other cars at auctions and then lease them out, right? Buy other vehicles, party buses, you name it, and lease them out. So it's a great business. It's not my main business. I have other businesses, but it's my fun business, because what I love about this business are the people Do I claim it all for taxes? I have a very, very good, when you're making the type of money that I am weekly, you got to have a good tax guy, right? And I have multiple LLCs, multiple limited liability corporations. So I look at this as one big business. A main LLC, then a DBA, and another DBA, and another DBA, right? You can build all those other little peripheral businesses under your main business. So if you're willing to explore, take the course. If you're willing to look or operate outside of the box, and I'm not just rideshare, UberX all day long, trip radar. No, you need to break out of that zone. It's not even a comfort zone anymore. It's just a repetitive, mindless zone. Break out of it, right? Break out of it. Explore the other opportunities. You always have rideshare to fall back on. You can always, if you don't have a private client, switch on your Uber app and your Lyft app, right? And the people that are doing private trips know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because they schedule their trips in the month, they have their calendar, they know what they're going to be doing tomorrow. I know my trips tomorrow and Sunday. Obviously, you have to take some time off and you have to have holidays as well. You can't just grind it 365. Not possible. You'll burn out. You have to recharge those batteries. But a typical week is 7 days. And rideshare drivers are not afraid of 7 days. There are many that grind Monday to Sunday. 7 days is the norm, right? So the initial cons are the costs involved, but then the pros by far outweigh the cons after a year, after 2 years, right? And many of my students, because they've taken the course and will get onto the phone for 30 or 60 minutes, and I might have a follow-up conversation with them. They'll have a couple of questions. I don't know of anyone that hasn't entered the private driver sphere, the private driver business, that has said, you know what, I regret doing this. Because if you're coming from the world of rideshare, you already know the game, right? There's only a few things one can teach you, right? I cover that extensively in those 300 minutes on the private chauffeur course with the link below. But you have such a phenomenal skill set already. You got the car, you got the smarts, you know the streets, you know the city, you know the neighborhoods, you know the peak hours. Now it's just about building out more and more and more and more and more private clients. Ladies and gentlemen, I am enjoying my time talking to you. I'm at the Sofi Stadium in the VIP area at the Morgan Wallen concert, right? I'm not there looking at the concert. No, I'm just simply waiting for my clients who will be done at 11 o'clock. I take them home at 12 o'clock tonight. I will be paid. Combination of, I know these clients will be a combination of cash and Venmo, right? And cash is beautiful. A lot of these private clients, they pay with cash, right? They either have their credit card, their business credit card, because they're trying to accumulate airline miles, maybe Amex, they'll pay you with Amex. So you have to have a processor, right? You can even get a PayPal processor or a Venmo processor or a Stripe processor, right? Because any person, any private client wants to be able to pay through Zelle. They want to be able to pay through Venmo or through their credit card or cash, right? And Venmo is my favorite. Yeah, Venmo is a charm. I love Venmo. Receive money, move money. Venmo is my favorite. Now, the transaction in a rideshare trip, you have the relationship of the rider and the company, Uber, right? They get hooked up with you, the driver. You drive them from A to B. Hopefully you don't do multiple stops, right? You get paid. You have nothing to do with that payment system, right? Because the rider's financial details credit card. Oh, you at the Sofi? I'm in the platinum section upstairs. Come and hit me up. Underground, you have to go through the security, the dogs, the bomb dogs, the sniffer dogs, check out your vehicles. So the cars that are here have all been vetted. Come and hit me up if you're in the same area. But what was I saying? Yeah, as far as the payment goes, the Uber rider pays Uber. You don't see any money. You, at the end of the week, you get your portion, right? They'll, Monday night or Monday morning, they will wire that money that you made on that week, depending on how many hours you did, depending on how many trips you did, depending on how many miles you did, depending on how many minutes you drove. You will get amount X into your account. Every week it's different, right? With private clients, you really need to know how to price those individual trips, airport pickup, airport drop off. You need to know how to schedule those trips. You need to build in a buffer, enough time between person 1 and person 2 and person 3, right? You can't have any overlap. You can't have the one person hanging there at the airport while you're still with the other person. You have to be very professional. You get taught everything in that course, right? But at the end of the day, when you fulfill that service, like tonight, it's an 8-hour booking. They'll pay me with Venmo and they'll give me a cash tip, right? Always does it. Always gives me a cash tip and pays the bulk of the money on the Venmo, right? So I know at 12 o'clock tonight what I could be expecting money-wise. When you start to get to know your clients, I have many clients that have a wad of cash like this, hundreds, $100 bills. They'll just pay cash. Cash is king. It's great, right? You're lucky in rideshare if you get a cash tip afterwards, right? You're lucky in food delivery if they give you a cash tip at the door. You're lucky. Because those fares, those charges are so high that Uber is charging the rider, or that Uber Eats is charging the person ordering the food to their house, to their business. Because they are so high, there's so little left in tips for you, right? Because of the greed of these companies, our tips have become like almost non-existent. Now in the private game, where they can afford, like this guy is paying big bucks for this driver to sit here all night at the concert and then drive maybe 10, 12 people back, right? This is a big money booking. The driver of this, I guess he works for this company, Exclusive Ride. There it is, 818. Maybe it's his own company, 818-877-7774. It could be his own company called XX Ride. If it's his own company, he's made a name for himself. This trip right here has made this guy a lot of money. It's a big booking, that, right? But, you know, if you are a private driver like me, I will take 1 to 6 people. I have to, I have multiple cars to choose from. I have multiple vehicles. So depending on my client, I know what they like to be driven in. If they live a little bit budget orientated, even the rich of the rich are budget orientated. If they, for example, like today, the very wealthy client has me drive his kids, right? So it's not the vehicle for him. He likes to be driven in a Cadillac, but the vehicle for his kids. So he's perfectly fine if I take them in a Suburban or in a Sienna. Still charge the same. I have to know, hey, do I have a big group of people, maybe a family, wealthy businessman and his kids, maybe they're going to Europe, a lot of luggage. I need a lot of space. I need to bring out the Cadillac. So me, I often switch up the cars. Sometimes if it's just one individual, and what I also do is I pay attention to their cars, right? If I know that I have a wealthy individual and they have the Tesla S and they have the Tesla SUV, I go and pick them up in a Tesla because I know they love Teslas or they love electric vehicles. So I'll pick them up in my Tesla X, right? So I really customize my approach with every private client to the point that, hey, Do you want me to, you coming in? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Do you want me to pick up any food? Any special request? Maybe they want a Subway. Maybe they want an In-N-Out. Maybe they want a coffee, right? I have got it down to a science where I know what coffees they like. I know how they like their coffee. I know what burgers they like. I know if they want a protein burger or a double. I got it down. I take notes, I got it down. And that's what you have to really do if you want to be the best of the best. And I do consider myself one of the best in LA because there are not many people that have the clients that I have, right? There are not many people that drive Jamie Foxx, Channing Tatum, actors, musicians, Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters. Not many people can boast with the client list that I have. So you have to be the best of the best. And I strive for platinum service. I learned that from the hotel industry. I really like to make the client feel good. I want them to be safe. I want them to feel like, hey, their kids are safe with me. I have their back at all times, even if it goes south. Even if it means there's going to be a big fight, I'll get involved, right? I'll keep their kids safe. But for that, you got to pay me. So if that is you, if you think you're sort of cut out for that type of business, whether you want to do it full-time, part-time, whether you want to really scale your private clients, me personally, I have a problem saying no. If a person needs a trip, I'll do it. Doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. With my private clients, I'll be honest, I'm rather a yes man. Yes, I'll do it. Or I'll try to do it unless I have a double booking or a triple booking. If I have a double or a triple booking, I'll give it to one of my other drivers and I'll take a 20% commission. Thank you very much. Right? So if this is maybe something for you, this is as close as you will get to an independent contract. Can't quite say that you are an independent contractor with Uber and Lyft with all that control and power that they are exercising over you. I don't feel like we are an independent contractor, right? I also know we shouldn't be employees, right? The business of Uber and Lyft would evaporate overnight if we were all turned into employees. But I would hope and pray that CEOs like David Risher, the new CEO at Lyft, Dara Khosrowshahi, you can forget about him. He's just a greedy, egoistic person. You're not going to teach him anything. It's so deeply ingrained in his DNA because of where he comes from. You know, his parents went to exile from Iran. It's the way Dara was formed. You're not going to change him. He's a great greedy individual. Only cares about himself. Doesn't even care about his family or kids, right? Dara Khosrowshahi has kids with another wife. He doesn't care a shit about them. He just cares about himself and his closest little nucleus and his executives and his investors that he gives blowjobs to every single day, right? Dara's like, yeah, what do you want, investor? Yeah, how deep do you want me to put it in my mouth, investor? That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me, doesn't care about safety. He cares about how much money can he extract on that trip. David Risher has definitely disappointed me, right? Has definitely disappointed me. I was willing to give him a shot, right? I was willing to give him a shot, but he just effed up, right? He made a lot of big promises in the beginning, 100 days on the job. David Risher, new CEO, he hasn't delivered for drivers. He hasn't delivered for riders. So it's too much talk, very little action. He's too much talk, very little action from David Risher. And because of that, still stuck at $11 stock price, really never going to step into his true potential for Lyft. He'll be out at some point. They'll bring in the next guy. Or Lyft will get swallowed by another company, maybe DoorDash. But David Risher may have missed his window of opportunity. That's just my personal business gut feeling, right? And I spoke to him, and I've gone back and forth email-wise a few times with him and his secretary. I've also made them understand they owe me a lot of money, and if I get paid that money, I'll change my attitude a little bit towards David Risher. But I need to get paid. Right? I'm not a free ride. I'm not a free recruiting service. They need to pay. But long story short, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to building out fleets, I'm your guy. I'll teach you all the ins and outs, everything. Why pay all of these expensive education dollars on trying out things when you can be handed a formula, right? The formula that I have built for the fleet business, proven through and through. Sold it thousands of times worldwide. The formula on transitioning from rideshare to private driver, doing a combination of rideshare and private trips until you have enough clients, taught that thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times, right? And so if that is something for you, the links are below. Don't be shy. You can text me, you can email me. Under every one of my videos, you'll see my text and my email. And I think with Uber being at 47, they must be worth 80 to 100 billion dollars, Uber right now. They are flush in money. So they'll spend a lot of money on marketing. They'll go after a lot of newbies. Bob Dobalina's in the house, hit by a drunk driver, 2x over the limit. Wow. I have concussion damage from a previous drunk driver, head trauma. Kids in Coroca have double vision and functional ADHD. Seeing a neurologist soon. Oh, the best guy, Bob, is Bryant Greening. And if you use my name, Torsten Rideshare Professor, Bryant I know personally. And go to legalrideshare.com, Legal Rideshare in Chicago. They have branches all over the country. And bypass the staff there. Just ask for Brian Greening. Just say, hey, I was told to contact Brian Greening from Torsten Rideshare Professor. And trust me, you'll get the best service. I have the greatest respect for the guy. He will go after them. You are owed a lot of money, my friend, and you will make a lot of money if you do it the right way, right? If you are truly suffering, Bob, from what you tell me, right, because of the concussion, because of your head trauma, hopefully it wasn't in your wife's car. Were you doing rideshare at the time? Oh, not Ubering? Well, then at least get a good, what city are you in, Bob? What city are you in? At least get a good referral from Brian Greening on a good accident attorney. You need a good accident attorney. I thought you were Ubering. Sorry. I thought you were Ubering. You need the best of the best accident attorneys in your city. I don't know what city you're in, Bob, but in LA, I could give you some really, really good referrals. I could put you together with some good guys. Philadelphia, main line by Philly. Okay, I will look into that. Okay, my email and my phone number are underneath the video. Hit me up. Tell me that you're Bob from Philly and that you're in that accent. I'll know exactly who you are, and I'll make a couple. You want to be represented by the right people, not just by these guys in the billboards that promise you, a lot of money. You want to be represented by people that have a track record, right? And again, I'm sorry that happened to you. I really am. That is traumatic. That is traumatic. And I assumed, sorry for assuming, but I thought it was while you were Ubering. Yeah, please do, Bob. You have my number. Hit me up. Now, I just want to get out the car briefly. I just want to see the situation here. I just want to stretch a little bit. This is the upstairs VIP area at the SoFi Stadium. This is the entrance, and it ends at 11 o'clock, so they say. 11 o'clock. And then my clients come up those stairs, and then you can get into any of those cars. So, yeah, we're at the SoFi Stadium, and Warren, what's his name? Morgan Warren, I think, is the name. Morgan Warren. Rideshare Rodeo in the house. Torsten, you should be coming to Denver for the town hall. We have politicians, drivers co-op, union and non-union, David Parra, Sergio, and more. Oh, wow. They're all going to be there? I feel left out. I feel left out. And I know Sergio, I know Parra, I know Rideshare. What are the dates? Send me the details. Definitely something to look at. Definitely something I will look at if it fits into my calendar. Now I have bookings. By the way, we're talking about a rideshare driver versus private driver versus combo driver. I have bookings right through to March 2024. August the 5th, I'll send you the info. Okay, that might work. That might work. Maybe just fly in for a day or two. Would be nice. But I have bookings all the way through to March 2024. Big money days coming up in the beginning of August. I think August the 5th may not work because all the Taylor Swift concert days, I think there are 3 or 4 concerts I'm booked out, and I'm charging big money for the Taylor Swift concerts. It happens here at SoFi Stadium, right? Those are big money days. So I will check out August the 5th. I hope so. I mean, if August the 5th is not a Taylor Swift concert day in LA, then I'm free. But I need to check after this live feed. Yeah, Taylor Swift is cleaning up, man. She's just concert after concert, all booked out. No matter what dates or cities she adds, they're sold out in minutes. The woman is a pro at her game. A pro. Whether you like her or not, I have great admiration for her. She's a super hard worker. So yeah, we've discussed that in great length. If you have any specific questions about this business, if you have specific questions about the fleet business, how to build out a fleet, it's almost building out a fleet. You're almost like an enterprise or your own Avis, right? The main thing is building out a fleet that you make these vehicles, cars available. So Rideshare is exactly, she puts on a great production. I think she's amazing. Oh, she has a concert August the 5th. Thank you, Yong Si. So yeah, I'll be booked out for that because I know that all the 3 months ago, people suddenly just like, hey, we need you to take us to. I mean, I would go to a Taylor Swift concert. I would. I'll be honest, I would. But 3 months ago, already got all the Taylor Swift bookings. Boom. People then said, "Oh, do you available Taylor Swift?" Sorry, booked. So whatever all the LA dates, I'm booked on those dates. So we have 67 people in the house. I hope you're all having a great weekend. We're Saturday. We're halfway through the weekend. We still have Sunday. Some people are going to sleep in tomorrow. Some people are going to chill and rest or have a nice Sunday. The heat wave. I mean, I know that Phoenix, Arizona has had 114 degrees, 18 days in a row. Friends just came from Vegas today. So they said it was 120. In Death Valley, it was 119 at night. They set a record of 132. My kids are in Europe, in France right now, heat wave. They were in Scotland, they were in England, heat wave. I mean, it's just heat all over the globe. It is insane. It is insane what temperatures, right? Never seen anything like that. Out in the valley where I am, like by Calabasas, 105. I was operating my Bobcat for a few hours this morning. Got so hot inside that piece of machinery I had to stop after an hour. 103 in Denver today. That is insane. That is insane. Hit me up. Put your temperature of your city. Put your city there and the temperature. Let's see. Let's just get a feeling here. Just get a vibe on how hot it's in every city. Anybody in Philadelphia? How many degrees? We have Pittsburgh early on. How hot is it there? Vegas. Any New Yorkers in the house? Anybody from Atlanta? Anybody from Miami? Anybody from Salt Lake City? LA? It's hot. It's hot. Colleen Lively, Torsten, thanks for all you do. You're welcome, dear. I appreciate you. Joseph Long, 101 in Dallas. Holy moly. 101. Phoenix, 111. Matt Cribben. Oh, got the hundreds, baby. 85 in Detroit. Devo Meister. Damn, it's hot all over. Hit me up with some other temperatures. Let's see how hot it's in your city. And by the way, mainline Philly, 88. Driving in those conditions, unless you obviously have air conditioning, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. You still got to get out, have your meal, have your breaks, or do your stretches. You do that in 111 degrees in Phoenix or 101 in Dallas. That's hot. That's hot. Jose, I got just 114 in the week. Michael Preston, 67 Springfield. I'll take that. Robert Selsky says, hi. How hot is it your city, Robert? Got 62 people in the house. Please smash that like button. Dustin always says, Smakovich, hit that like button. 67 sounds amazing. 67 in Bellingham, 75 in STL, and Ned Rogers is in the house. Seattle, 75. That's nice. 75 is doable. Sounds great. Robert Selsky, 90. Ouch. Mucho caliente. Sehr heiß. I am getting hungry, man. Smash that like button. Thank you very much, Colleen Lively in the house. What a lively audience we have today. Cool. So yeah, and when you came across this video, you probably saw the thumbnail. Oh, St. Louis, sorry. I thought it was abbreviated for Seattle. St. Louis. I apologize. My bad. That's how much I know the cities. We have 70 likes. Thank you. PJ Kruger, General Rideshare. Much appreciation on all insights. Thank you, my friend. Awesome. I appreciate you. AMK. What's the name of that dash cam? The one that uploads into the cloud is called DisplayRide, displayride.com. But one of the best standalone dash cams is the Vantrue N4 Pro. Quite costly, over $200, but worth it. Your life is worth more than $200. And what's cool about the N4 Pro, literally 360-degree filming. The DisplayRide, all the footage is in the cloud, so you can send the footage to the insurance company. You can send the footage to the police. You could send the footage to the rideshare company in case of a wrongful deactivation. They say they would look at it. They don't look at it. They're not paying people to look at your captain. Way too low says, are you hiring drivers, LA? I'm actually not hiring more drivers. I have such a long wait list, and my guys don't leave. I give them a sweet deal in the car. I feed them a lot of clients. Most of the people that lease cars from me are on Uber and Lyft. 92 in Tampa. Manny Luca in the house. But leave your details. Vantrue N2 Pro is also 120. Amazon Prime Day, good one. The N2 Pro is fine. You don't have to get the N4. N2 Pro is amazing. But to the gentleman in LA who was looking for to drive, was looking if there's anybody hiring, I do know a lot of the operators, good operators, so I could make a recommendation. So do text me or email me, and I can pass on your name to a couple of great operators. I know the shitty ones, I know the shysters, and I know the good ones. Almost city by city. Whether it's in Houston, Texas, New Orleans, Miami, I know all the operators in this game. One operator that I trained up in Phoenix, Arizona is 250 cars. Michael Preston, is it worth buying an electric car for Uber and Lyft for a second car? What's up, Kweyong? How are you, my friend? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is it worth buying an electric car for Uber and Lyft as a second car? Good question. If you do go out, I would look at like what cars fit into what categories. Obviously, if you're going to get a Tesla 3, you're pretty much driving in X. Is there money in X? I don't think so. Now, certain of the Tesla SUVs, I believe the Y and the X, they fit into the higher categories. There's more money. If you are doing the combination of private trips and rideshare with a Tesla SUV, yeah, I would say there's good money to be made. Getting a regular job, good for you, Azon. I'm done with UberX, he says. I'm done with UberX. Good. If you are done and you feel like you're genuinely not making money and you're just spinning around, get out. Get out of the game. Just get out. A lot of people have difficulties detaching. It's like an addiction. Rideshare is like an addiction. It's like a drug. A lot of people just addicted to the game, but realizing, shit, not making money, but I'm addicted. I'm not making money, but I'm addicted. You need to know when to cut the cord and get out. You need to know when to get out. 67 people in the house, 74. If I can get it up to 80 likes, I'm going to take a break. Captain, thank you. Welcome. Reseda. Cool. Reseda's in the house. We've got Cantor Carmen. At least you don't need to go to a job. It's about freedom, not necessarily about money. True. True. Freedom is worth a lot. It's not always about the money. You're right. Kuvran, cheap Uber company, said you get $1 extra for your trip if you get an electric car. That's not much of an incentive. $77 and tres por favor. 1, 2, 3 bitte. 1, 2, 3 alsjeblieft. 1, 2, 3 s'il vous plaît. Naz, hit that like button. That's what it looks like. And then in the beginning of my video, you'll see the thumbnail. You'll see the neon light, the neon Uber and neon pink Lyft light and the neon blue Uber light. People were using them. Hit that like button. Thank you, Kiyong. People using them at nighttime mainly, right? And the sad thing is that guy, I know him. His name is Mr. Hutton. He's in Torrance, California. He got sued by Uber and Lyft and Amazon. They raided his house. They raided his business. They took all of his signs. And I happen to still have a couple of hundred signs. And I usually hand them out to drivers when I go to events. Those neon signs, right? But isn't that sad that they have the power just to raid his house and his business and just take everything from him? Plus the $7,000 that was in his Amazon account. They took that away from him. Jeff Bezos just took that. But Jeff Bezos allowed him to be on the platform since 2019 and 2023. They get a phone call from Uber and Lyft and say, hey, raid his house, send in the police, destroy him. They ruined his life. It's in the news. You can look this up. I'm not making this up. 79, we need 1. Un, s'il vous plaît. 1 bitte, 1 alsjeblieft. 1 por favor. 1 please. 1 more like. 1 more like. Dara, where's my money? Dara, where's my money? All I can tell Dara is that, Dara, I'm at the Morgan Warren concert at Sofi. Dara, if you want to come around here, I'm in the VIP section. come and hit me up. I'm sitting over here. Come and talk to me. I'll definitely teach you how to treat drivers, because that seems to be your weakness, right? So if you're at the SoFi Stadium and watching this country music event, come over and hit me up. I'm in the VIP section. 81 likes in the house. And I want to personally, this is the only time I want to thank Dara. I want to thank Dara Koshashawi, John Zimmer, and Logan Green for allowing me to take so many of their riders that I've converted into private clients. So many of them. The amount of money Uber and Lyft must have lost to me. I have 350 clients. I didn't get all 350 from Uber and Lyft, right? I may have got 70 to 80 from Uber and Lyft. But thank you. You've made me a lot of money there. Thank you. I know they are, because I know they're watching my videos, because I got contacted by the FBI. That's the one thing. And I've had the attorneys call me. But ladies and gentlemen, if you know me, if you know the rideshare professor, if you knew how I grew up, right? I grew up in the most dangerous environment you can ever think of in the streets of South Africa. I went to the army. I was in the reconnaissance. I was out war times. A guy like Dara Koshashawi or any little asshole that he sends my way is not going to scare me. Is not going to scare me. You have to be highly trained if you have bad intentions, or if you want to hurt me, right? And if you're not highly trained and you try to come and hurt me, you're going to pay the price. That's, but I lead my life every day without fear. I didn't go out there and like, oh, I'm afraid, watching my back. In South Africa, I had to watch my back all the time. In South Africa, if a cat had 9 lives, I lived 13 lives. I got shot at with AK-47s. I got shot at with 9mm. People try to stab you. People try to rob you. People being held hostage, paying money to get out of situations. I mean, it's horrific, right? Dara Koshashawi would not know that, right? And most of, if there are any thugs working for Dara, they haven't grown up in that environment. They haven't been exposed to the harshest of the harshest conditions. They haven't been in wartime, where you just get dropped out somewhere across the border in some foreign country and you have to fend for yourself. They haven't been put in those environments, right? They don't have that type of training, right? So the way I look at these people, yes, they have an education. They have a good education, don't get me wrong. Yes, they've got good experience, but they've quickly figured out through their years, with a combination of their degree, combination of their corporate background, they figured out, and obviously at the mercy of investors, they figured out how to FUCK over the average man. And they seem to be okay with it. And that's their lifestyle they chose, right? That is the lifestyle they chose. You and I cannot change their lifestyle. We shouldn't change their lifestyle. They are who they are. They're assholes, right? But if you're a good person with genuine intentions, you go around peacefully, you don't mean harm to anyone, you don't have intentions of stealing or baiting and switching, then you're going to live a good, healthy life, right? You don't have to be like these people. Don't be like these people, right? So, but again, that's the path they chose, and that's it. Nothing to do with us, right? And if we want to protest, if we want to boycott, if we want to strike, we can do it peacefully. We don't have to threaten anything. We don't have to harm anyone. We just have to use social media. You'll do more harm to these companies by utilizing social media to your benefit, right? Or if, for example, it's a bad example, I'm sorry to bring it up, but if some intoxicated Uber rider rapes a woman or tries to touch her, go to the media. Go to your local TV stations. Find someone that wants to run you a story so you can expose the corruption of these companies, right? But you don't have to hold back. You don't have to internalize, right? You don't have to be vindictive. You don't have to do harm, right? I don't want to do any harm to these people, right? I don't have to. I have a good life. Why would I ever want to jeopardize my lifestyle? I have 5 kids. I have a beautiful, smart wife, right? Why would I want to? So I have no ill intentions to those individuals. They are who they are. Karma will get them in their ways, right? But you and I, all we can do is we go out there, we do our very best, we show up as honest citizens, right? We make our money, we work, we want to be paid for our work, we want to be kept safe, we want to keep our families safe, right? Just the basics of life as you wander, as you go through life. They lead a different lifestyle. Their lifestyle is moving around with big security entourage. It's a horrible lifestyle. It cannot be healthy. It cannot be good. But that's them. That's not us. So I'm asking you, we never have to do anything stupid. You don't have to do harm. Just turn to social media. Get your own special revenge through social media. There's nothing better than making national news. Like I had this one Asian gentleman that an Uber rider beat up with a metal pole, head bashed in and everything. And I wanted to help the guy, and we made national news. And a lot of people have come to me, and we've exposed their stories on news channels all around the world, not just in the United States. And that gives me more satisfaction getting back at Uber and Lyft, because we get to show the world what assholes they really are. We get to show the world how corrupt they are. We get to show the world how shallow they are, how artificial, how fake these people are, right? And that's not a lifestyle for you. And I don't want to have the type of money where I have to have a massive security entourage around me constantly watching my back. Thank God I have the skill set and the training to take care of my own back, all 360 as one individual. I don't have to hire security, right? I hire security. If I take VIPs out, or rappers, or French Montana, or any of those guys, I hire security experts, right? That know their job. They're armed. They know what to do. I just got to make sure, that entourage of people goes from there to there, and they're safe, and they're taken care of, and all the little needs, whatever they need, but they're taken care of. And you hire security companies for that, right? But would I ever want to be the individual with so much money that I'd have to keep myself safe? No, thank you. I would never, ever, ever in my lifetime would I want to trade shoes with Derek Oshoshawi. Never. Because I know what type of person he is. I'd never want to be like him, right? And you tell me that his wife, Sydney, or whatever her name is, she sees one thing only, right? I'm going to have kids with a guy, and I'm going to get the money. But what a shitty lifestyle. What a shitty lifestyle. I would not want it for any money in the world. Me, I want to go out with my wife. I want to go out with my kids. I want to travel. That's it. Life retaliated against me and deactivated me. They claimed it was for talking about them on social media, but I think it was retaliation for collecting in a lawsuit. Either way, it was illegal. And you know what? By the way, I believe retaliation can be proven, and retaliation could cost these individuals a lot of money, my friends. So, yeah, Red Hammer's in the house. How are you? Yeah, you don't want the Dara virus. You never want to be infected with the Dara virus. It's a shit virus to have. You do not want to be infected by. No, Hernandez. Lyft is horrible. Super low payouts. Thank you, David Risher. David Risher's doing nothing. David Risher has disappointed me beyond. A lot of beautiful promises in a 30-minute conversation. David Risher, if you're listening in, you've done nothing. You've done nothing for your drivers. In fact, you made a joke of yourself, right? Came out there on the media, you did your rounds, and you acted Mr. Cool Guy, but you are who you are. You're another Dara Khosrowshahi. So with 87, please help me get to 90. 3 more likes. Getting rather tired and rather hungry. Got to take a little rest. 95 minutes already. That's almost 1 hour and 35 minutes. Get me up to 90 likes and I'm going to go and chill. 88, thank you so much. 2 more. 89, wonderful. And it's been great, a great 1.5 hours with you. I appreciate you all. Thank you for got me up to 90. Thank you. You got me up to 90. I appreciate it. 91. It's been great talking to you. I've tried to, as much as possible, read out a lot of your messages. If there are any messages, closing messages you want to leave right now, I'll read them out. Anything you want to say, anything you want to share, anything you want to suggest, anything you want to ask, put it out there so I can get back to you. We're on 93. Thank you. I appreciate you. 93. I hope you are having an amazing weekend. I hope you're staying out of this crazy heat. It's crazy, crazy heat, right? Specifically thinking about the people in Arizona and Nevada, parts of Cali. Q Young, have a great night, my friend. Much love to you and your family. I appreciate you. To all of you wonderful people out there, please, God bless you all. Please be safe. David says, make that money tonight. I'm going to get my $700 at midnight. I'm excited. Please be safe, right? Like every day, we have to be vigilant and we got to say to ourselves, I need to keep myself safe today. What do I need to do, right? That could be windows up, doors locked, 360. Make sure you know what's going on. If you get people getting into your car with hoodies or masks, be on the alert, my friends. Be on the alert, right? My Bob, thank you so much. Insulting Firm Podcast. Thank you for being here. Michael Preston, thank you for being here. Devo Meister, thank you for being here. Prayers to all of you. Watch out for the drunk drivers. Great, great, great advice, specifically on a Saturday. But be vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings, right? Wendy Loza, I appreciate you. Much love to wherever you are, to your family, to your extended family, to your kids, to your wives, to your husbands. My family sends you much love. From the Sofi, Mike Miller. I'm at the Sofi in the VIP section. Hanging out more like with the big vans up at the top. My client has his own suite, his own box. At the Dodger Stadium, he has his own box at the Sofi, and he has his own box at Crypto at Staples Center. I don't know what that'll cost him to have your own suite at Sofi, your own suite at Crypto, and your own suite at the Dodger Stadium. That must set you back some serious money. That's big, big money. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, which means, wow, 2 more hours. And then the craziness starts because you got to get out here. Oh, we're on 97. Do you guys and girls know what I'm aiming for? 100. I'll get there. I'm going to hang in there. For 99 minutes, I know I can get to 100. I don't know what you guys have planned or girls have planned on a Sunday night. But on Sunday afternoon, I hope you have great plans for tomorrow. If you are in this private business, I suggest you don't smoke. I suggest you pay attention to what you're eating. Love you back, my friend. Love you back. Appreciate you. Love from Chicago, sending Chi-Town. Insulting Firm podcast. Much love to Chicago. And then Rideshare Rodeo said there's a big day on August the 5th in Detroit. Sergio's going to be there. A lot of guys are going to be up there. I should be there. Got to just check my dates, make sure I'm not doing the Taylor Swift concert. Para, the CEO of Para, David's going to be there. Rideshare Rodeo is going to be there. Steve, Sergio, phenomenal fighter for drivers, Sergio. Massive respect for Sergio. Thumbs up for Sergio. Give him a thumbs up for Sergio. Anybody, give a thumbs up for Sergio. And 98, we're going to get it up to 100. 43 people. We're winding it down. People are leaving. They know it's coming to an end. Matt Cribbenen's in the house. The surge for Morgan Wallen in Phoenix was insane. It probably will be insane here as well. $98. 2 needed. Dos por favor. 1-2 bitte German. 1-2 alsjeblieft Dutch. 1-2 s'il vous plaît Français. Love from New York City in the house. Heavy drop 82. Devo Meister. Sergio. Much love to the NYC, New York City. Sending a lot of love to New York there. Michael Preston, important to learn how to work on your car. Very good one. Save a lot of money. A lot of money on repairs. By the way, bought myself 4 new cars last week. One of them, Bronco 4-door. Insane, 6-inch lift. I called it the Beast. I should make a video on that. Tomcats in the house. Always use situational awareness and don't start a weird ride. Thank you for saying that. Always use situational awareness and don't start a weird ride. Incredible feedback there from Tomcat. I need 2, guys. Anybody can squeeze out 2 more likes. It's all I'm asking for, because I need to eat. I need to go to the restroom. I need to eat, and I probably need to take a little nap. 98, anybody for 98, 99, anybody for 99, anybody for 98, 98, anybody for 99, anybody for 99, anybody for 100, 98, 98, 98, we're gonna like it for 99, anybody for 98, head on a swivel. I'm hungry. I just need 2. 99, somebody, yeah, 1 more. 99 for 100, 99 for 100, anybody for 100, 99 for $1 bid. 100. Thank you. 103 minutes, 100 likes. That's about an average of 1 like per minute. Love it. Love it. Somebody took it away. Ouch, that was painful. How can you take Tomcat? Trophy time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Saturday night. You might be out there working and hustling. If you are, please be safe. You might be doing your last trip or your last delivery for the night. If you're heading home, please be safe. Watch the drunkies on the road. Tomorrow is Sunday. I hope you get to sleep in. I hope you get to relax. Give your loved ones a big hug. Tell them about how much you love and appreciate them, right? Family is everything, my friends. Blood is thicker than water. Never, ever forget that, right? To my children who are traveling overseas and also watch my live feeds, your dad loves you more than you can ever imagine. Was in Hollywood, now in Ontario, California. Cool. And huge, massive thank you to everyone that watched the stream tonight. If you have any questions regarding the topic, rideshare driver versus private driver versus combo driver, hit me up. My email is below, my number is below. If you have any questions regarding deactivations, hit me up. If you have any questions about starting fleets, hit me up. If you are a newbie entering the game, hit me up. If you're a veteran, there's not much I can teach you. Appreciate you for being here. And to all the other guys and girls that are fighting for drivers and gig workers worldwide, like Sergio, etc., thank you. You are appreciated. Aram's in the house. God bless you all, my friends. Sweet dreams tonight. 101, baby. Hit me up. Email and phone number is below. I'm going to put it right after this. I'm going to put it below. Concert ends at 10:30. I was told by security it ends at 11. I hope it ends at 10:30. I get to go. Wendy, good night to you. I get to go home earlier. Right? Salute. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am not sour. I'm happy. I'm super happy. I'm grateful and I'm happy to be with you all. Appreciate you. Good night.